guys? In this video we'll be testing out the Overwatch beta for the first time, and this video I'm going to be using the character Tracer. So let's go, guys.
There you are.
Psst, what are you looking at? Don't worry, loves. Cavalry's here.
So when I first saw the cinematic trailer of the game, I really thought it was going to be similar to Borderlands. An open world campaign with the ability to develop your characters and get to know them more in depth as the story progresses. After the beta was released, I quickly learned how wrong I was. This is a PvP multiplayer objective-oriented game. That means it's completely based on teamwork. So if you're in a match with a bunch of dummies, then you're pretty much screwed. Overall, the game is fun. It's well designed. I love the uniqueness of the characters and the artwork as well. The maps are amazing. They're really beautiful. I love the voices that's behind the characters as well. And I think they did a really good job that a lot of games really kind of struggle with. It's very unique, especially with each different character. Another aspect of the game that I don't like is it's also one of its strengths. I think one of its strengths is also one of its weakness. The amount of characters that's in the game. There's so many different characters, you're kind of overwhelmed to see who you want to pick first. But I think that also devalues the character to the player, because you can't really fall in depth with that character or the story or bond with that character and progress. Like, I know they have on their website the little bios, but it's different when you actually play a character and you have a progression system. I haven't seen that yet, where you're unlocking abilities or something, or there's a story for them, a story mode, maybe a co-op story mode. You know, I don't like that function. It's kind of like you get a character and everything's already unlocked. There's not really much story. You just hear their voice a couple of times in the game, and that's really about it. So you can't really kind of bond with that character. Overall, the game is still pretty fun. It's just the beta being released right now. I hope they implement down the line something like a campaign, a co-op campaign, because right now the amount of characters, the way they set up the game, is they have a lot of opportunities available to them down the line. They can easily come out with a co-op campaign similar to Borderlands, and kind of similar to what Star Wars did with Battlefront. They kind of came up with two different games. They did a multiplayer game and a campaign game, which kind of failed them. But I think this title has a long legacy that it can leave behind in the future, just like Borderlands did. I really feel like they have the opportunity to them. It just depends how they're going to execute that. Well, let's go focus on a character. Her name is Tracer, but her real name is Lena Oxton. She's 26 years old, and her occupation is she's an adventurer. That's pretty damn cool. So some of the things, let's go over what I like about this character. She's actually my daughter's favorite character as well. When she saw her on the screen, she knew who she was right away from when we were watching all the cinematic trailers. When any person I showed the cinematic trailers to before the beta came out, they were immediately hooked into this game, into this story. They were ready for it. People that doesn't even play games, my daughter, they were immediately hooked. They're ready to see what this is. She thought it was a movie. So I really felt like they could have really did a strong campaign, especially a co-op campaign. That'd be awesome. But another thing, so what I like is her persona. She's very funny. She's very outgoing. I really like the jokes she makes. I just like her personality in general, like this.
You know, the world could always use more heroes.
Another thing I like that's unique about her is her movement mechanic, especially when you see a teammate doing it, or you just see it on the screen from an enemy. She's bouncing all over the place. She's got the dash ability. She can get to a different location quick. I'll show you right here. and it's really unique. I really like seeing it. The animation's done really well, and I feel like it's not overpowered as well. You could, you know, it runs out, and I think you can easily run into gunfights and get out of them, as well as for objective game modes where you can get to the objective and get out quick. So like if all your teammate is down and you're the only one left and everyone's rushing you, you can easily get out of that gunfight if you know where the nearest exit is. Another thing I do kind of like, I mean this is just a kind of like, is one of her abilities is her time travel. She can go back in time. I feel like it's not really, I don't know, it's not really as effective as it was in Call of Duty with Glitch. I think if them two went toe to toe on time traveling, I think Glitch would definitely be the player's more favorite style, and this kind of glitch with Tracer, you kind of see the animation is kind of too slow when she's going back in time, and I wish they would have kind of just did like a blink glitch, kind of you're back 5 seconds or 2 seconds or 3 seconds, and I think that would have been pretty cool. But I mean, so far I haven't really used it that much. I think it does help with getting out of gunfights, especially when you're losing or you're just so overpowered with enemies against you. And I think that's when it really helps. But you know, if you use it and you didn't really get to a safe spot, you could also be right in the middle of enemies where you used to be. So it really depends how you use it. Some of the things I don't like. Now as I mentioned before, like nobody has a L3 button when you're not running. That gives me anxiety. So for this character specifically, when I select her, my mindset is to be all over the place, be quick, you know, bouncing around. And the fact that you can't run, and I'm constantly pressing L3 to run to get this girl moving, it gives me anxiety. This character is based around speed and movement, and she's too slow without that dash ability. So I hope the developers kind of implement an L3 run button for all the characters. And like a lot of shooters like Call of Duty, people in Star Wars, people are looking to use that L3 run button no matter how fast the character can move. It's just something there that they use, just like the crouch button. In this game, I don't really feel like there should have been a crouch button. There's more of a need of a run button. So I really don't like that they implemented crouching, but they got rid of running. So that's it. I mean, I've never even used a crouch. I don't even think it's even needed because there's not really much place to take cover. So I think that was just a waste of a button. Another thing I don't like about this character is, again, her damage. As you guys can see, I'll show you guys here on the screen, I was unloading my clip several times and I wasn't really feel like I was implementing much damage with Tracer. And I know she's not supposed to be like super power or anything, but again, come on guys, like I really felt like I was bringing no value to the gunfight. I was just unloading and there's like nothing's happening. I don't like that, as well as her special ability. So the bomb that explodes, I'll show you guys here. You throw a grenade and it has a small radius on the explosion and you're hoping that they get hit by it. I hope they change that, or you can change it to have more control over it, maybe a bigger radius, or have it being manually detonated. Like you throw it somewhere, you could wait, you have to stay alive, and you can detonate it manually from wherever you're at. I think that would have been a much better idea versus just throwing and praying. Well, that's it guys. Hope you guys liked the video.
Yeah! That was awesome!
Stay tuned for more characters. I'm going to do probably another 3 characters, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.